We're back to make fun of the Cleveland Browns as we're on Shedeur Sanders' watch. But we're not making fun of the Browns right now. We got to step up and clean out some trash. We got a hater here in big media that's speaking some rhetoric, and this ain't the first time, but we got to take out the trash here. We got to fix this, and we built up the platform to where we can speak on this right now. And the hate's just too unreal. And I just want to bring this to light. Before we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We're keeping tabs on these quarterbacks for you on the Cleveland Browns. What's going on behind the scenes, especially with big media, especially with news that's being pushed under the rug. We're digging it up so you can find it. So if you're a Browns fan and you're hating what this organization's doing it, come here to this channel every day throughout the week, and we'll make fun of the Browns together because that's really all we got left. Click that button, stop missing out. But you'll know when you see this face. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see this face. And she's been saying blasphemy about these quarterbacks in Shedeur. Blasphemy. And I don't know how to pronounce her name. Like, I'm not trying to deplatform it. DPT. I don't know how to say her name. I don't know her. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying, but this lady said originally, like back in early October, that Dillon Gabriel's the perfect student. All he does is study and all this. And Shedeur Sanders plays street ball.
I can tell you, Kevin Stefanski loves Dillon Gabriel for all the reasons you just said. He is a very, very smart, heady player. He is in that film room. He studies exceptionally. You tell him one thing once, and he doesn't make a mistake twice. He is all the things personality-wise that Kevin Stefanski wants out of a quarterback. And just like you said, he's not playing street ball. He's not sitting there just trying to see what can open up downfield. What can I possibly create? He goes through his progressions extremely well and extremely efficiently. Now, Shedeur, he's got a great magnetism to who he is. He's got a lot of growing to do, and he has admitted that. He is working towards that. He is getting better, but what he ran at Colorado is not necessarily what Kevin Stefanski is looking to run right now. And so there's certainly still a lot of growth that he needs to do, both in the playbook, on the field, and even off the field. We saw the miming in the locker room.
That was what she was saying. That's what she was saying. And that was a few weeks ago. Actually, about a month and a half ago. And now we're coming up. We're saying more stuff. We're saying more stuff. And it's all these little hinted jabs. Like, how do you got a job? She says in this that she's been doing this for 16 years. And I've seen this before. And it's gaslighting, and it has to stop. We've seen this about the practice reps all week. We've heard ex-players say different stuff where some had a little split for the backups getting some reps. Some didn't. Some didn't. Like, you don't have to gaslight us on that. Do better.
Let's talk about this whole first team rep thing. We saw this past week that Shedeur Sanders didn't necessarily look like he was ready to light it up. There are a lot of people that were saying, well, my goodness, he didn't have any first team reps. The Browns start a rookie quarterback. That rookie quarterback needs as many reps as he can possibly get. I have been going to NFL practices for 16 years, Chris. I can tell you this.
We get it. First team reps are different from team to team. We get it. We've heard it a million times this week. That's all we've heard. It's Thursday. Like, that's part of the story's done. Why are you coming out today? Why are you coming out today out of the woodwork to drop whatever you're trying to say?
Unless you've got a veteran starter who gets a regular day off, like perhaps a Ben Roethlisberger, you rarely see a backup get a huge chunk of first team reps.
But what about the context of what the Browns had here? You had a rookie behind a rookie that's undersized, throwing hospital balls in the dirt that looked like he was destined to get hurt anyways. And you did not prime up your starter?
Maybe a backup can get 1 or 2 reps per period, but oftentimes those are run plays. Those aren't the key plays in any game.
1 to 2 plays that are run plays, lady? Is that what you're saying? We're begging for that. We're begging for that. We're begging for that back in July. We're begging for anything. Where were you at during the summer, all this? Where were you at When we were watching training camp, I've come back to report about training camp. It was an hour in the practice before he got reps with 11 versus 11s. What you got to say about that? Like, not all quarterbacks going to get it, especially when the other ones are throwing the balls into the dirt, not completing even 50% of their passes.
So as it is, a backup is not getting a ton of first team reps. I can also tell you this. I've seen plenty of young players ask coaches to stay after and give them some extra time. In fact, the Browns, Kevin Stefanski made sure that Shedeur Sanders, the first few weeks of the season when he was inactive on Sunday, he had Shedeur Sanders stay after practice on both Friday and Monday for extra individual time, extra individual instruction.
We know he's been working hard. We know. We've been reading all summer long. We've been watching this quarterback battle. The Shedeur fans, the Browns fans, the practice rep fans. I watch practices. Of all 32 teams and report here. That's how we got here. He comes in like early morning. He does take whatever extra days Stefanski gives him. He'd do it on Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day. He'd be there on his day off at Baldwin Wallace with his own coaches, getting whatever he can.
And what we saw, Chris, on Sunday was not simply a matter of not having a lot of reps with the first team. Let's take bleeding out of the back of the pocket. When you see a young player do that so regularly, it's largely because that quarterback is reading the rush as opposed to reading the coverages. How do you get better at that? You're watching him do it right there. How do you get better at reading coverages? By putting in the time in the film room, by experience, by further study. That has nothing to do with whether you've thrown to the first team wide receiver or not.
And then what about the summer when he wasn't getting any reps? We waited hours for 11 versus 11 reps. What about that? When Gabriel was chucking hospital balls into the dirt. What about all that? What about that? Like, when is enough to make the change for you? When's enough? When's enough context? What's enough context for you to at least be middle of the road here and take it to leadership? Oh, so you guys are going to indirectly say that he doesn't study and that he plays street ball. That's what you're saying. And you're big media. You're CBS. I'm just a guy backwards hat here on YouTube. I just have fun every day talking about football, fantasy football, help you with some parlays even sometimes, college football, NFL draft, talk about this, side quests, I play football video games. I talk about all kinds of stuff. This is absurd. This is absurd for a clip. Look at that smile right there. She is going to go hard for the coach. A lot of this media goes hard for the coach, goes hard for the leadership. It's like the Epstein files for football. They lean for the coaches. You got to be player first. You got to be player first if you're a fan. You got to be player first. You got to be player first because nobody else is going to take up for him. No one's going to take up for the players. Like some will in other outlets. And like I've been saying all week long, a lot of people are either coping, making excuses, or hating when it comes to him. But no one's going to the leadership. No one's going to the leadership, the preparation. You know this is weird-ass context. You know they've had 42 starting quarterbacks since 1999. You've known this going in. They had Pickett and Flacco as the veteran quarterbacks. They had 4 quarterbacks in the offseason. They made the draft pick. They made the decision. Whether not all the people on that staff wanted it or not, it happened. They weren't prepared for it. Lack of preparation, lack of execution, lack of leadership, lack of everything, leadership, development, attempt to develop. The attempt to develop wasn't really there. What about her bringing up, or anybody bringing up, like the week prior to Shedeur getting out there against the Ravens, the beat writers are pinning down Stefanski, asking whether or not he holds accountability. The beat writers are pinning him down, asking him if he holds his players accountable and how it happens. Like, you know it's getting rough. And part of it's us bubbling shit up last week. Part of it was us. Because we called Stefanski a pussy for not speaking Shedeur's name in press conferences for like 5 weeks in a row or whatever. And ducking everything. And things were coming ahead. And we were talking about accountability. And I believe we're getting up somewhere. We're getting up somewhere. Hopefully this bubbles up. Hopefully this bubbles up. Like, this needs to go up to ESPN Cleveland. Our big brothers up there. This needs to reach them. This needs to reach them because this is blasphemy. This isn't supposed to happen. This is big media. Like, she collects a massive salary. Like, a massive salary. Like, me and you together is probably less. It's probably less. And you're out here saying a kid plays street ball. You're out here trying to say a kid doesn't study. And you're saying on multiple different occasions indirectly. You don't need a job. This is the type of rhetoric that's causing all this shit in the media this week. This is type of shit. Like, nobody's watching them play and really being real. Like, you're seeing that. You're getting Coper hate. You're getting Coper hate. No one down the middle. No one breaking it down, so you don't know what to trust. You don't know what to do with this. And you're seeing parts of the media just lean with the coaches and ownership because they control their access. They control their access. If she goes hard and paid against Stefanski, Haslam, Barry, they can say, can't come here. You ain't coming here. I ain't answering your question. I'm going to just say the same thing over and over again. Like I've been with everybody else, but even less. That's what. And one of the coaches, I think he's the Bears coach, snapped at her. And everybody was taking her side. But now that I see the full effect here, now I got to rethink everything. I'm not going to say that he was right, but damn. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.